What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Music NFT podcast. Brock and Aaron back at it again with you for another week. It's great to be back. We're back fresh from Los Angeles, California. Brock, how are we feeling? How's the jet lag going? I think I'm over it.
Yeah, we finally, I think, what was it? It was like 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah, I think Wednesday I wasn't feeling tired during the day. For those of you that don't know, we headed off to LA for Veecon, Gary V's conference. Was meant to be his last one, but we now know that is not the case, and there will be more Veecons.
The utility continues.
NFTs just continue to provide value. We decided to make the trip over and spend a couple of days in LA and check out the conference, get a bit touristy. We saw a lot of great talks, a lot of inspiring chats, a lot of cool people we got to see talk. We got to see, Mike Posner, Will.i.am, Nick Cannon, Flavor Flav, amongst a whole other, CEOs, entrepreneurs, content creators, celebrities, musicians, which was really cool. Something I'll just kind of kick off with that we saw Will.i.am working on is a new AI radio app called Radio, but like AI in the radio, if that makes sense. Ray, RAIDO. And he kind of previewed that on stage, and it was interesting because after he showed it to us, Rock and I had like a bit of a discussion about what we think might have been better or what we think a better kind of idea was. But basically his app is a kind of like a personal radio that you can talk to, which is just like an AI assistant basically. So you can kind of ask it to tell you about the latest news and current events. And then it can play you some music, and then you can ask it about the music, or you can ask it to switch it up or something. So it's kind of like blending, I guess, like a chat GPT with a Spotify radio. Yeah. And it worked pretty well. Obviously it's still in development. He kind of showcased a couple of bugs on stage, which isn't ideal, but I thought a better use case of that, or like kind of thinking, maybe a couple of years into the future, would be if you had something like the Spotify DJ and it was playing you music, and then as you're just driving along, you can just hit the voice command button on your car and just go, "Hey, in the next talk break, can you let me know about today's headlines that are like entertainment based?" And then as the song finishes, it'll do a little talk break like a radio show would, give you a couple of key points of news and stuff, and then hit you back in with some music that you're loving. Thoughts, Brock?
That was the biggest issue, I think, with 100%. It should be invented. Will get onto us, fix your app.
Yeah.
That was the thing, is he was professing that the music continues, and the music does kind of continue, but it's in the background while it's being talked over. And that's not, you're interrupting the experience for another experience, which is kind of like not
counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive what you're trying to achieve there, which is like enjoyable music with AI attached to it. I really, we kind of hit between the two of us straight away. We're just like, why? Immediately our thoughts were like, why is it interrupting the music? And it just didn't feel that groundbreaking, essentially, because it felt like, here's one app, here's another.
Boop. Kiss.
The great thing about it was, though, he had done a really good job of making it more culturally relevant. So there was more African American voices. It was just more directed towards that culture. So it was like, I can't remember what was one of the names.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to fluff it. But yeah, there was like a couple of like there was a male and a female character, and both were just like so perfect for that, and everyone was like clapping that. So that's cool, and that should be happening more as well because I feel like it's so white essentially.
100%.
Yeah, any AI voice is like there's no like it's like just have like a Mexican, Chinese, Asian, like just another kind of accent. It can still be speaking English if you wanted to, but it's like just make it more seem like actual life rather than just a bot voice.
Yeah. And he like a lot of there was
more
like
slang.
there was a lot of like African American people in the audience who were like really impressed by that feature. So it's obviously something that they are wanting and they recognize as like something that is kind of missing from that space. So yeah, props to Will.i.am for including that and having that as a prominent feature for the app because it seems like they were really impressed by that.
It definitely it felt more natural as an AI. That's one thing I'll give it. So that was one thing above and beyond any other AI I'd seen. It felt a much more conversational AI. Once he nails the hiccups in it, I think that part will be great. But as far as the music side goes, I think that it definitely needs to not interrupt the music listening process for the sake of just giving you a news. And cool, if you want to, while it's talking, if you then want to interact with it, then you can have a full conversation, and that break will continue, and you can make it go on and whatever. Or same as Siri, you just click a button, and instead of it goes out of music mode and into fucking answer my question mode. Pronto AI. But yeah, that was sick. And then I think for my moving away from music as well, like my personal takeaways, that continues to be something that we talk about and emphasize in the music industry is consistency, and just it was literally in every talk. There was not a person out there that including Gary himself, that didn't preach it at some point in their speech. It was like they would be hitting home a point of, this is how, these are the things that I did, but I did them consistently to get to this place. Whether it was a guy in hospitality, whether it was someone in music, whether it was a sports star, whether it was a model, it was just sharing new ideas, but going, I did this new idea, and once I realized it worked, I just did it over and over again until it worked really good. As Alex Hormozy says, more, better. Find something that works, do it more, do it better.
There's definitely like a couple of examples of this is obviously the restaurant guy. What was his name? Will
that was here. I've got the notes somewhere.
Guida, I think, owner of 11 Madison Ave.
Yeah, 11 Madison Ave. That's right.
He was talking about unreasonable hospitality and just making guests feel super looked after, honing in on their key needs and wants, and like delivering that above and beyond experience. And after doing that for a year of consistency of focusing on that, he became the number one restaurant in the world. And it's like, that's just proof in the pudding. Another one, Bobby Althoff, talking about having good videos and consistently posting them until they hit. Just like that kind of stuff. Yeah, as Brock said, throughout the whole thing, it's just anytime someone was speaking about their success or whatever they've done, it came back to being consistent and doing the reps.
Yeah, you look at both, like just the ones that he mentioned then with like Bobby and Will, it's like, I think it's Will Guidara, I think is his last name. That unreasonable hospitality he did, it was like as soon as he realized it was working, then just, as I said, but like more better, it was like, okay, cool, that works. And his only reason why I realized it works is because he was doing so much of it. It was like, cool, it worked once, now let's do heaps of it for a while. Okay, that really, really works. And then it's just like, okay, how do I make it better and better and better and better and better? And that was same with Bobby. she's like, oh, I want to do a podcast and grow my socials. So she posted 10 times a day. And then eventually realized what good content was. And then when she realized when she'd gotten to a place where she knew what good content was, she could go and identify something that she knew was good, and she would continuously post it, delete, and then repost over time until it hit, because she knew it was good because she'd posted so much content already, so she could recognize good content. So I think the more it just comes down to reps and consistency. So like immediately at the start, just doing as many reps as possible. And this isn't, again, we're not preaching overworking or doing anything beyond what you feel is comfortable for your life, but it's for musicians in marketing, it's like just part and parcel of what you got to do. Like, how can you employ an agency to market your music if you yourself don't know what good marketing looks like? We're seeing so much of it here on the Gold Coast, where it's with this current downturn in finances, there's a lot of people around that have a lot more money that are buying up nightclubs and hospitality venues. As like literally, I've seen the cycle happen 3 or 4 times in my life, having been in hospo and music for a good portion of it. What happens is, as soon as businesses start going out of business, like as soon as the hospo business start going out of business, people come and buy them that don't have any idea that they're moving from somewhere else. And it's just like the same cycle getting swept up because they've got no idea how to run that particular business because they've never done the reps. And then they don't really want to do the reps because they were already successful somewhere else. They believe that success can translate somewhere else. And it's not the case. Just because you're writing good music doesn't mean you're good at marketing, doesn't mean you're good at fucking XYZ. It just means you're just going to fucking learn something new. Unfortunately, it's terrible. I know.
And on that note, learning something new, another talk that we saw, Paul Scheer, comedian, spoke about how, today's day and age in social media is the perfect time to be like upskilling and learning so many different things. Right now, you can be, if you're creating content for yourself, you can be the writer, the director, the shooter, the editor, the copywriter, all that kind of stuff. You're learning new skills because, unfortunately, that's the game as it is right now. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this 20 years ago, and it's probably not going to be like this in 20 years' time. But right now, the game is making your own content and pushing that onto socials and using it as your marketing. And it is a perfect time to upskill and become better at other skills that might be handy in the future for other things.
We actually saw a really good, Aaron shared something with me just before we hopped on today, where someone mentioned it was like talking about where content should live, and how you can get to a place where you get better content. And he mentioned, obviously, and everyone knows this, like your best content should live on YouTube. Anything video wise, it's like that is the cinema of the internet. Below that is like, and people do this, is like either Twitter or TikTok. So Twitter's either for people, they just share, like spew ideas, spew forth, like whatever work until they see something that works, and then they're like, cool, that's probably content that I can use. But it's the same for TikTok, because TikTok's, no one cares. Like and this is something that I beg all of you to do. If you actually are active on TikTok, film yourself on like actually
Screen
engaging.
record.
Yeah, it's like not screen record, but you probably screen record, yeah, or actively like film another camera behind you, engaging on TikTok. You watch it, you'll spend 5 to 10 minutes sometimes of just like nah, 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 nah. And like most of the time, if you do that too many times, that's when you'll shut down TikTok because you're like, oh yeah, there's nothing on there for me tonight. But think of all that, like that's how little anyone cares about your content. So you may as well try and do as much of it as possible, to get to a place where people start to actually engage and care about your content. So it is solid advice to just use TikTok as a dumping ground of like,
just turn the camera on yourself and just record it. Yeah.
I have a thought. Oh, that looks cool. Or if in my case, I'm on the plane, I'm like, I want to take a cool picture. Ooh, picture on my lap. No.
Post that.
Post that. That's garbage. Little personal joke there. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so those are some of our takeaways from Veecon. if you're in the area for wherever the next Veecon is, we highly recommend going. It was a great event.
Very varied conference, but still very narrow niche at the same time. It's like so many people from all over, so many different industries, but it was still, as we said, very like entrepreneurial focused. If you were in any kind of creative industry as well, I think creatives and entrepreneurs were there together and learned a lot for sure.
100%. But that's it. That's it for this one. We're back, so hopefully we'll get some regular episodes out to you. Although Brock heads to Las Vegas pretty soon, so who knows? Might go a week or two miss, but we will see.
Yeah.
But that's it. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we will catch you on the next one.